Chalo, let's start. Let's go to the first page.
Yeah, we're on first page, I guess.
No, second page. So, like Energizer and Kutta has already taken some lectures on options, I think, and Davai has taken lecture on Excel sheet. So
Advanced
we will start with sorry,
advanced Excel
Advanced
sheet.
we will
Excel.
start with basic terminology. Okay. So what is derivative? Derivative is a type of financial instrument जिसका वैल्यू डिराइव होता है अंडरलाइंग वेरिएबल से वेरिएबल्स बोले तो आइदर स्टॉक इंडेक्स और एनीथिंग एनीथिंग कैन इंक्लूड एनीथिंग कुछ भी किसी भी चीज से उसका वैल्यू डिराइव किया जा सकता है so what are the type of derivatives it is called forward contracts or futures swaps which we don't use here in India and options so options are basically the thing we are using the most. Then what is future? So that is yet to arrive contracts. Okay. So it is basically an agreement to buy or sell any asset at a future time and it's at a certain price. Okay. So you are agreeing, going into an agreement with a, like if you are a buyer, then you are going into an agreement with a seller party that you will buy the particular this contract or इसका क्या बोलते हैं asset at a future price. So future can be like 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, or whatever. Then there is options. Options is also an agreement to buy or sell an asset at an agreed price. It is
Oh
same as
shit.
future. The definition is, but there are two type of options now. One is call options and put option. In future, you are either long or short. But in this, you are buying a call option or a put option. It call options gives the holder a right to buy underlying asset at a certain date at a certain price. So what does that mean? Ki, there is strike price and spot, everything is going on. So if you are buying a particular strike call option, so it will give you a right to buy that particular stock at that particular price only. और बाकी तुम्हारा जो ऊपर नीचे जाता है that is different thing, we will cover it later. Advanced course, no. And put option is opposite to the call option. It gives you a right to sell the underlying asset. Now when we move to the option market, we have basically four type of participants. One is buyer of call, basic, seller of put. So these two are what you call at the Y custom.
Bullish.
Yeah, what?
Bullish.
These are what you call you are bullish in market, and then there is a buyer of put and seller of call. So that means your view is bearish. Okay, so let's go to these are all basics terminology. That's why I'm trying to cover it up. Can we go to the next? Are you in next slide?
Yeah.
Third
Yes,
page.
yes.
So we covered key how many type of participants are there and now how many type of traders are there. Basically there are three type of traders. One is hedger. Hedger is someone who uses derivatives to reduce the potential risk which he may face in the future. Like किसी के पास कोई पर्टिकुलर ये है स्टॉक्स है, ही इज अफ्रेड कि यार ये स्टॉक गिर सकता है, तो व्हाट ही विल डू इज ही विल hedge his position by buying the puts of that particular stock. ठीक है, तो hedger वो होता है. Also hedger is something like if you're taking a strategy which we will try to understand further कि उसमें रिस्क को या फिर लॉस को मिनिमम करने के लिए हेज करता है बंदा. Then there is speculators. Speculators is I think या नेकेड पोजीशन होल्डर्स होते हैं या तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं, उनका एक ही व्यू रहता है कि आइदर इट विल गो अप और इट विल गो डाउन. सो बेसिस ऑन दैट दे विल टेक आइदर फ्यूचर्स और ऑप्शंस. ठीक है. Then there is arbitrator. So what, this is a tricky thing. No, like not everyone can do that. So basically what they do is ki they will try to trade in two different markets. Like just like an example, agar if they are looking at a certain stock price, like a certain stock is trading at two different exchanges. जैसे BSC और NSC में दोनों में ट्रेड कर रहा है. So what they will do is, and there is a price difference between both of them. 5 रुपए का या 10 रुपए का, there is a difference. So what they will do is they will buy from the lower exchange and try to sell it on a exchange where they're getting higher price. So either they will do that. So basically इनका ये रहता है कि नो लॉस पोजीशंस बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं. So the definition is one who takes offsetting positions two or more market to lock in riskless profit. ठीक है. But there are very slim chances you need that particular thing कि arbitrage हो रहा है कि नहीं, there is a difference in that particular thing कि नहीं. So इसको हम लोगों को इतना देखना नहीं है. We are not doing that. If you are a starting person, you are not doing that. So then there is something else, types of options. तो स्टॉक ऑप्शन क्या होता है? स्टॉक ऑप्शन जो है बेसिकली कोई भी स्टॉक का स्टॉक एज ए अंडरलाइंग एसेट काम करता है, अंडरलाइंग स्टॉक रहता है. जैसे आईटीसी हो गया, तुम्हारा रिलायंस हो गया, तो उसके डेरिवेटिव्स, मतलब उसका जो ऑप्शंस है उसका वैल्यू उसमें से लेता है, उस पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक से. इंडेक्स
Yeah.
ऑप्शंस में, सॉरी,
No. घर पे बात कर रहा था.
या
Sorry, I'll mute myself.
इंडेक्स ऑप्शंस में अंडरलाइंग जो रहता है वो इंडेक्स रहता है. जैसे कि अपना बैंक निफ्टी है और फिन निफ्टी है. देन देयर इज फॉरेन करेंसी ऑप्शंस जिसमें अंडरलाइंग कोई भी फॉरेन करेंसी रहेगी, व्हाट इज ए यूएसडी आईएनआर and JPY or anything. Then there is future options, which doesn't happen here. Future options में future underlying रहता है. Then there is binary options, which also doesn't happen here, but I just put it for you to know. So binary options में क्या रहता है? There is a fixed payoff. अगर if you have taken a particular strike price call or put option, and if it goes beyond your particular strike, then your payoff will be fixed. It's not like वो उसपे दूसरे effects आएंगे, उसका price ऊपर नीचे हो जाएगा. So fixed payoff रहता है. And then last one is doom option, which most of the people try to do here. This is deep out of money options. So deep out of money options, like currently if Nifty is trading at 17,500, so these guys will try to buy 18,000 calls or 17,000 puts. ठीक है. So deep out of money options. So these has low strike price and this cost little, but if some move, a particular move happens, so they will print money according to that. So third page, fourth page, Davai.
Okay.
Few personal attack. Okay, so there is specifications. Like expiry date वो mention रहती है contracts में. स्ट्राइक प्राइस जो है वो डिफरेंस रहता है. जैसे कि निफ्टी में 50 का डिफरेंस है स्ट्राइक प्राइस में. ठीक है. बैंक निफ्टी में 100 का है, 100 का है ना.
Yeah,
और
100.
बाकी मतलब पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक्स में डिपेंड करता है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ कि वो कितना का चल रहा है. सो 50 पैसे का भी होता है, 1 रुपए का भी होता है डिफरेंस, ऐसे करके. तो वो स्ट्राइक प्राइस वो डिफाइन करता है एक्सचेंज. देन देर इज अ पर्सन कॉल्ड मार्केट मेकर. You must have heard market maker like in YOLO or in VC. तो what market maker क्या होता है? एक बंदा होता है, एक्सचेंजेस यूज करते हैं इस बंदे को. वो उसका रहता है कि वो एक पर्टिकुलर स्ट्राइक पे बिड, एक बिड और एक ऑफर दोनों प्रोवाइड करता है. उसको पता नहीं है कि क्या चल रहा है क्या नहीं. वो तुमने क्या मांगा है वो नहीं पूछेगा, मतलब तुम क्या ऑफर कर रहे हो उस पर्टिकुलर चीज के लिए, पर्टिकुलर स्ट्राइक के लिए। वो क्या करेगा, वो एक पर्टिकुलर स्ट्राइक पे आके बिड भी करेगा और ऑफर भी करेगा, जस्ट टू प्रोवाइड लिक्विडिटी इन द मार्केट। ठीक है। और वो बंदा भी तो कमाना है बोल के ही यूजेस दिस बिड ऑफर स्प्रेड। सो his bid his bid will be lower na, Davai?
His bid will be lower, yeah.
Yeah, his will be lower than the offer price. So the between that difference, he will try to earn some money, and with that thing, he is providing liquidity so that people can trade in that particular strike too. So market maker वो होता है. Then there is offsetting orders. Offsetting orders कुछ नहीं है. It is basically what determines of open interest. ठीक है. तो there is like two parties which are basically involved. Market maker is also the guy with really deep. हाँ, yeah. So if an exchange is using, so he really has deep pockets. So ऑफसेटिंग प्राइस क्या होता है, ओपन इंटरेस्ट को में नंबर चेंज होता है, तो वो नंबर एक नंबर चेंज हो रहा है या ऊपर जा रहा है या नीचे जा रहा है, वो किस बेसिस पे जाता है, वो ऑफसेटिंग ऑर्डर्स के बेसिस पे जाता है। ठीक है। सो इफ देर इज एन इन्वेस्टर हु हैज परचेस्ड ऑप्शंस कैन क्लोज द पोजीशन बाय इशूइंग ऑफसेटिंग ऑर्डर। अगर मैं हूं, मैंने कोई पुट खरीदा है, सो देर मस्ट बी समवन एल्स हु हैज सोल्ड मी द पुट। ठीक है। सो लाइक हम दोनों में से किसी ने वो पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन क्लोज नहीं किया, तो वो ओ आई जो है 1 पॉइंट इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, लाइक 1 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ओ आई में ऐड हो जाएगा। अगर मैंने क्लोज कर दिया, उसने क्लोज नहीं किया, तो ओ आई जैसा है वैसे ही चलता रहेगा। और अगर हम दोनों ने क्लोज कर दिया, तो ओ आई जो है 1 पॉइंट नीचे गिर जाएगा, मतलब एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ओ आई से हट जाएगा। एज सिंपल एज दैट। ठीक है। देन देर इज मार्जिन। मार्जिन इज, मतलब अब तो आई डोंट थिंक ऑप्शन पे मिलता है मार्जिन। तो इट इज बेसिकली लोन फ्रॉम ब्रोकर। ठीक है। यू आर ट्रेडिंग विथ ब्रोकर्स मनी। तो that's like this. Okay. Then there is option strikes. So like you must have heard ITM, ATM, OTM क्या होता है? ITM is basically when मतलब जैसे कि if you go to the option chain, like if current spot is 17,500, so ITM will be 17,450, say 17,400, something like that. Then ATM will be similar to like 17,500 will be the ATM, and then
That is
OTM will be
calls.
seven.
PU, that's for calls. Puts
Oh
के लिए
yes,
उल्टा होता है.
पुट्स, हाँ पुट्स के लिए उल्टा हो जाएगा। पुट्स के लिए क्या हो जाएगा, 17,550, 17,600 पुट्स विल बी आईटीएम, एंड देन 17,450 एंड 17,400 कॉल्स विल बी आईटीएम। देन
वो
17,500 पुट एंड कॉल विल बी एटीएम, एंड देन उसका अपोजिट जाएंगे तो 17,600, 650 calls will be OTM, and 17,300, 350 and 300 calls will be ITM if 17,500 is the spot. ठीक है।
So this is basically called moneyness बोलते हैं इसको. It's like,
हम्म,
when you buy a call, you're basically betting कि market will end higher than that. So if currently market is below that, then basically it means कि it is out of money, like it's not in the money करके. So that's a way to
yeah,
like समझने के लिए हुआ था. So, yeah.
cool, thank you.
Okay, next.
Next. Yep. So these are Greeks. I think OT has already taught you what are Greeks. ठीक है। So basically क्या है, the delta is what, the rate of change in options value relative to the change in underlying asset price. So if an asset price is moving 1 rupee, तो delta will define कि ऑप्शन का वैल्यू कितना चेंज होगा 1 रुपी के मूव से। ठीक है। देन गामा, इट इज द रेट ऑफ चेंज इन ऑप्शंस डेल्टा गिवन टू द sorry, given a change in price of the underlying asset. So if it is basically how much will delta move on the basis of 1 rupee movement in the underlying asset. ठीक है? So next पे आते हैं theta. It is the rate of change in options value given to the unit change in time of expiration. मतलब जैसे जैसे टाइम कम होता जा रहा है तो थीटा विल डिफाइन कि ऑप्शन की वैल्यू कितना गिरेगी with respect to time. Then vega, it is the rate of change in options value relative to the change in implied volatility. There is implied volatility which Kutta pretty much explained. So with change in implied volatility, how much will the rate of option change? ठीक है. Then there is rho लगता है क्या इधर? I don't think so.
नहीं रो नहीं लगता.
Yeah, so but rho is a Greek. So it is the rate of change in options value relative to change in interest rate, but it is not applicable in Indian markets. So, then there is implied volatility. Implied volatility is a metric to capture market forecast for likely movement of underlying asset price used to price option. High implied volatility result in option with higher premium, vice versa. ठीक है. So basically क्या है? If you go to the this option chain, you will see IV. So IVs क्या है? Basically market forecast कर रहा है कि भाई ये जो particular अंडरलाइंग एसेट है उसका प्राइस कैसे कैसे मूव हो सकता है के बेसिस पे कितने कॉल आएंगे उसके बेसिस पे ऑप्शंस का प्राइस डिफाइन करते हैं तो अगर ज्यादा आईवी चल रहा है so the options premium will be higher and if there is less IV so option premium will be less. Can you add something Davai in this?
No.
No.
If you want, I can show you, but फिर से वो Excel हो जाएगा.
So we are in basics, we are not in advance. Okay, चलो ठीक
I'll
है कोई
just
बात.
shortly show you. मैं बस एक ही चीज दिखाता हूँ.
हम्म.
Give me same Excel है. Nothing to worry. You guys can see the screen, right?
Wait, it's still loading for me. Ah, yes, yes.
कोई और बताओ. हाँ. So
Yes.
so look at these cells I've copied. Select जो किया है 18200 है. Call is trading at 130 rupees. Put is trading at 159 rupees when underlying is at 171. So what he said is कि delta is basically how much the option moves when the underlying moves by 1 rupee. So is future को let's move it by 4 rupees and this 18200 is trading at 0.5 delta, which means for 1 rupee move in Nifty, its price should change by 0.5, right? So I've changed the underlying by 4 points. So Y4 में देखना, Y4 में 18175 किया मैंने. I kept the time to expiry constant and IV कुछ change नहीं किया. Now look at Z16. Price of this option became 157. I'm selecting the entire row here. 159 पहले था put price. Now it is 157. So for 4 rupees change in the underlying, the price of the option changed by 2 rupees, which means the underlying is half, 50% sensitive to the, the option is 50% sensitive to the underlying. So that's how it is. That's the delta. And you can see the delta of this option 0.53, it has changed to 0.52 after a 4 rupee move because it has a gamma of 0.11. So the next time market moves by 4 points, इसका sensitivity जो है वो थोड़ा और कम होगा, and it keeps reducing basically. So as it keeps going far and far from 18200, as it keeps coming closer to 18200, इसका sensitivity और कम होता जाएगा because it's a put. And it becomes 0.47, 0.42. Basically धीरे धीरे वो OTM हो जाएगा. Currently it's ITM. धीरे धीरे वो OTM हो जाएगा. So as you go deeper into OTM, you can see that these options delta keeps reducing. That's because they have this gamma. So that gamma is the thing which reduces its And again, what brings that much value to the deep OTM options, doom options जो इसने बोला, is because initially when they start, they are very, very low delta, but then they have this gamma. So initially, first point move में you will make 0.14 rupee only. When Nifty moves by 1 rupee, you will make only 0.14. Then you will see कि how is it profitable for me? मतलब why should I buy 0.14 delta option? Why not a 0.5 delta option if I'm really bullish? But what happens is when market actually moves from 18,200 to 18,550, by the time it moves, this 0.14 becomes 0.15, 0.5 because there's gamma. And ideally, ATM should be at 0.5 delta. तो धीरे धीरे करके ये 0.14 0.5 हो जाएगा. So the net delta you will realize is not 0.14. It's somewhere between 0.14 and 0.5. So yeah, that's how gamma works. It basically keeps increasing your delta so that your OTM option जो है उस पे profitability बढ़ता जाता है धीरे 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 धीरे. But इसमें जो होता है it doesn't increase as much. It only goes like 0.53 धीरे 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 करके I don't know. I think it goes up to 0.99 or whatever. But यहाँ पे you can see, right, 0.14 0.53 hona, it's like 4x, right, 4x or something. But 0.5 it can go only double 0.99 हो सकता है, so it can only go to x. But यहाँ पे कोई limit नहीं है, it can actually theoretically go up to 0.99 0.14 से. So that's like what, 7x 8x. So yeah, delta can go 7x 8x, so your PNL can actually multiply. I mean, there's no limit on that. So yeah, that's for the delta and gamma. Basically, gamma is a factor which makes deep OTM options attractive. Otherwise, the delta on these things is not as much. So वो एक चीज ध्यान रखना. Theta and vega is fairly straightforward. For 1 day change in the time, कितना premium कम होगा, that is theta, and vega is IV से कितना drop होता है. So I hope this is clear. Let's go to next.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, man.
Okay,
Can you stream?
screen is back. Sorry. Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, so let's move to next slide, open interest. Okay. So
Open it.
what Kutta ISB dog took na, so he basically covered everything about open interest. So open interest is nothing but how many contracts are open on that particular strike. The number of contracts, the number of puts and number of calls. तो जैसे मैंने बताया कि OI define होता है offsetting orders से. So if no one is selling, then the OI will increase by one point. So in open interest, you will see कि कितने open contracts market में available है on that particular strike. ठीक है. So open interest historical option chain looks like this. Let's go to the next slide. I think this was taken at एक्सपायरी के दिन. हाँ, 30th दिसंबर एक्सपायरी के दिन या उससे एक दिन पहले वाला स्क्रीनशॉट है ये. So you can see there is a gray line and on are you at option chain, Davai?
Yeah. Option
Yeah,
side.
there is a
17 to 50 is ATM, gray line.
yes. So you can see the gray line ki 17,250 पे that whole line is grayed out. So it is ATM. The ATM or currently जो spot चल रहा है 17,250. So option chain में देखने के लिए क्या क्या है? You can see the IVs right next to the strike price. ठीक है. Then you can see the LTP. LTP is last traded price of that particular option, and it is showing key how much percent that option has appreciated or depreciated during that day according to move, because Nifty moved like 0.9% upwards कि ऊपर गया, इसलिए you can see कि puts have depreciated and calls have been appreciated. ठीक है. Then you can see the OI which is in lakhs. OI is the same thing कि उस particular strike पे कितने open contracts चल रहे. So if you see ki 17200 पे there is 52 lakh open contracts going on, and 17300 पे there is 48.9 lakh open contracts going on. 17250 put है और 17300 call की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. ठीक है. So put is shown in green and call is shown in red. So right now there are 52 lakhs open contract currently in the system for put. मतलब there are 52 lakh people who are holding the put thinking कि नीचे जाएगा और ऊपर जाएगा. There is both type of thinking going on. क्योंकि if there is a buyer, there is a seller too. ठीक है. तो if someone has sold on that particular strike price, someone has bought it. तो जो व्यू है उन लोगों का कि 17200 के नीचे जाएगा, so my put will print. ठीक है. My put will make money. Also there is a thinking going on at 17300 call कि 48.9 lakh contracts open है, तो वो लोग सोच रहे हैं कि if it goes up मेरा कॉल प्रिंट करेगा, और कॉल सेलर सोच रहा है कि if it goes down मेरा कॉल प्रिंट करेगा, मतलब मेरा सेलिंग प्रिंट होगा. There are two different views at both at every strike. ठीक है. Then you can see the OI change. OI change is basically कि उस पर्टिकुलर डे में उस पर्टिकुलर स्ट्राइक पे कितने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, कितने परसेंट ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स राइट हुए, या कितने परसेंट ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स हुए टोटली बाय और सेल. सो यू कैन सी कि 17200 के पुट पे अराउंड 52 लाख कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स हुए और 246% इंक्रीज हुआ है. दैट मीन्स एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द डे इट वाज सम अदर वैल्यू, बट पूरा डे खत्म हो गया तब जो है ये वैल्यू निकल के आई है. मतलब इतना परसेंट अप्रिसिएशन हुआ है उस पर्टिकुलर स्ट्राइक पे पुट्स का. सेम थिंग यू कैन सी इन कॉल्स कि कितना 30 28 समथिंग यू कैन सी. सो व्हाट कुत्ता सेड कि दिस डिटरमाइंस, जैसे क्या बोला, कॉल व्हाट यू से लॉन्ग अनवाइंडिंग एंड शॉर्ट कवरिंग. ठीक है. शॉर्ट कवरिंग एंड लॉन्ग अनवाइंडिंग इज व्हाट यू कैन सी if you go to ITM like 17200 नहीं 17150 का calls देखो, so there is a OI change of negative 53.1%. so that means जो उस particular strike पे call writers बैठे थे. Can anyone tell PO to put it in presentation mode? My eyes are already in. Otherwise, can you put it in this full
I
screen?
did. Some people said it's flickering, right? I don't know. देख लेना, मैंने डाला है.
Yes, it's flickering.
Yeah, that's why we were not going full mode. OT sir, I will share that thing.
Or I can do
Can you-
this. Give me a second. I can share my screen and then put it in full screen. तब बताना. How's it?
Yeah, much better.
Good.
ठीक है क्या?
Yep.
Legible.
So
Okay.
sorry, हाँ बोलो.
I mean, it's much better than before. Continue.
Okay. So what is short covering and long unwinding? We were talking about key. You can see 17100 and 17150 k calls पे there is a OI change of negative 53% and 44% negative. So that means on that particular day इतने contracts, जैसे अपन ने offsetting contract में पढ़ा कि if each side closes, OI is decreased by 1. So that means at that particular strike, उतने contracts close हो गए. So what this does is कि जो एक wall बनी हुई है, there is a wall of 48 lakh contracts, 37 lakh contracts. तो वो wall कम हो रही है. So that is giving a cushion. That is giving a what you call सपोर्ट की थोड़ा और उस स्ट्राइक के ऊपर अपना स्पॉट निकले. इट इज बेसिकली लाइक दैट. इट कैन बी लाइक दैट. इट इज जस्ट अ मेट्रिक, मतलब एक टाइप का इंडिकेशन है. इट्स नॉट लाइक दिस इज एब्सोल्यूट और एनीथिंग, बट दिस इज वन टाइप ऑफ इंडिकेशन कि हाउ द मार्केट कैन मूव. ठीक है. What else can we show in this option chain? short covering.
It's actually more
Also,
like PU. It's actually more like
mm,
how many people are impacted if market moves in that direction. So what you
yes,
usually
yes.
do in OI
Mm,
analysis is the more people who will get hurt by that move, the more
हाँ,
the more strong the move will be. It's like कि
yes, yes,
बहुत
yes.
ज़्यादा लोग अगर उसमें OI लेके बैठे and then suddenly वो strike cross हो जाता है, they'll be forced to exit. That's when the
They
move.
will be forced to. Yes, exactly. Because then their sell price or whatever it is, it will start expanding and they will be in losses. So just like Doggo said about max pain and everything, तो यहाँ पे वो चीज आ जाती है, ठीक है? So I won't be discussing this further. You can listen to Doggo's VC. That is much better. We will go to strategies. Can we shift to next slide?
Yep.
So strategies, basically मैंने basic strategies cover करी है and then there further down there are more strategies which you can explore on your own. ठीक है? So basic strategies जैसे अपन ने देखा था first कि कितने type of trader रहते हैं, participants रहते हैं, ठीक है? तो वो basic strategy का सबसे पहला participant है अपना long call. The first strategy is long call. What you are doing is your view is your direction is your view is bullish basically. ठीक है कि हाँ भाई आई हैव शोन कि इंडेक्स के ऊपर बताया मैंने. सो एट दैट पॉइंट 17250 वाज 8 एंड आई वाज बुलिश कि नहीं 17250 के बहुत ऊपर जाएगा. सो आई मेक दिस आई बाय दिस कॉल. ठीक है. सो यू कैन सी द ग्राफ कि द रिस्क इज कैप्ड कि जितना मैं प्रीमियम पे कर रहा हूँ द प्राइस वॉज 81 रुपी. ठीक है. एंड द लॉट साइज इज 50 फॉर निफ्टी. सो आई एम पेइंग 4050 रुपीज एज अ प्रीमियम. ठीक है. सो माई लॉस इज कैप्ड. तो आई यू कैन सी कि रिस्क जो है कैप्ड है उधर एंड माई रिवॉर्ड्स इज अनकैप्ड. सो no matter how much nifty moves in ahead, like above 17250, I will make money. If it goes below, I will lose only 4050 rupees. So this is what you call, that is, this is a long call. ठीक है. Next is short call. ठीक है. So what you are doing is you are selling the particular strike. So इधर जो है मेरा डायरेक्शन चेंज हो जाता है. It will be bearish. ठीक है. Like buying a call, you are bullish. If you are selling a call, you are bearish. Your risk is uncapped. Means the call can get expanded like no matter where nifty is going, so the calls can get expanded as per the why said ki the delta move and everything. So calls can get expanded, but your reward is capped. So basically what you are doing is you are selling that 81 rupee call option and hoping for it to go to zero or depreciate in value. सो मैक्स टू मैक्स वो कितना नीचे जाएगा, इट विल गो टू 81 रुपी. मतलब 81 से जीरो जा पाएगा. तो योर रिस्क इज अनकैप्ड बट योर रिवॉर्ड इज कैप्ड. देन नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. ठीक है. जैसे अपन ने लॉन्ग कॉल किया था, यू आर गोइंग लॉन्ग पुट, सो योर डायरेक्शन इज बेरिश. योर रिवॉर्ड इज रिस्क इज कैप्ड. सेम थिंग लाइक लॉन्ग कॉल. You are only paying that particular strike price into lot and the reward is uncapped कि निफ्टी कल को नीचे गिर गया तो मेरे को पैसा बनेगा. ठीक है. then let's move. Then there is short put. The direction changes to bullish. If I'm shorting a put, that means I'm bullish. ठीक है. Your risk is capped. Yeah, it says capped until the underlying falls to zero. ठीक है. So if you are selling a put, ठीक है, तो निफ्टी कहाँ जाएगा, जीरो ही जाएगा ना. इट्स नॉट लाइक जीरो से भी नीचे निकल जाएगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड, मतलब आई रोट की रिस्क इज कैप्ड and then reward is also capped because you are only getting the premium of 76 rupees. So you are hoping for it to go to zero. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट. नाउ दीज आर ऑल सिंगल टाइप ऑफ, मतलब जो पिछले अपन ने देखे हैं वो एक सिंगल टाइप ऑफ स्ट्राइक का अपन ने बाय या सेल किया. नाउ व्हाट विल डू इज
Naked trade.
yeah, naked trade, yes, sorry, naked trades, sorry. So now what we'll see is कि उसमें पिछले वाले में क्या था, मेरा डायरेक्शन फिक्स था कि आइदर आई एम बुलिश और आई एम बेरिश. ठीक है. अब राइट नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज कि मेरे को पता नहीं है आइदर कल मार्केट 300 पॉइंट ऊपर जा सकता है या 300 पॉइंट नीचे जा सकता है, जस्ट लाइक आज जैसे हुआ. सो व्हाट आई विल डू इज आई कैन टेक अ लॉन्ग स्ट्रैडल. सो इन दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग कि मेरा व्यू न्यूट्रल है, मेरे को पता नहीं है कि कहाँ जाना है. सो आई कैन टेक अ लॉन्ग स्ट्रैडल इन विच आई एम बाइंग बोथ कॉल्स एंड पुट ऑफ द सेम स्ट्राइक. ठीक है. सो द ग्राफ व्हाट आई वाज ट्राइंग कि तुम ग्राफ देखो कि कैसा बनता है. तो देर इज अ जोन. अरे यार मैंने ये पुट नहीं किया क्या.
Yeah.
क्या बोलते हैं उसको, ब्रेक इवेंट्स नहीं डाले मैंने. ठीक है. बट इफ यू गो टू दिस सेंसिबल एंड देर आर प्री बिल्ट रेडीमेड स्ट्रैटर्जीज, यू कैन जस्ट पुट इट देयर एंड यू कैन सी द ब्रेक इवेंट्स ऑफ दिस. ठीक है. तो बेसिकली क्या है कि एक पॉइंट के बाद if you're making this particular strategy, after one point there are two break evens. So either if the Nifty moves downwards after like 17,200, you will start making money, and after like 17,300 you will start making money if Nifty moves upward. Okay, so long straddle, if you're not sure how the market will move, and you think there is a huge move either side will happen, then only you can take a long straddle. Okay, next slide. Next slide is short straddle. ठीक है. Short straddle में भी your view is neutral, but you think कि निफ्टी जो है एक ही रेंज में रह जाएगा, it won't move that much. So what you will do is you will sell calls and put of the same strike. So at that point ATM 17,250 था. I sold 17,250 calls and puts, and I'm hoping कि मार्केट जो है इसी रेंज में रह जाए. So you can see कि मेरा रिस्क जो है अनकैप्ड है कि अगर मार्केट एक कोई भी एक डायरेक्शन में मूव कर गया, सो आई विल बी बेयरिंग लॉसेस. ठीक है. बट जो रेंज है, द ग्रीन ग्रीन का ये दिख रहा है तुमको ट्रायंगल, तो वो बहुत ही छोटा है, मतलब मेरा रेंज बहुत छोटा है. सो दैट माई रिवॉर्ड इज कैप्ड. मेरा उतने रेंज में ही रह के रह जाएगा. अगर इसी बीच में निफ्टी रहा, देन आई विल मेक मनी. दिस इज बेसिकली a short straddle. This is also a type of naked this options. Then can we go to next slide? Long straddles, not long strangle. ठीक है. Long strangle is basically you are inversing that wait, long straddle, sorry, long strangle is basically you are defining a range कि इस रेंज से बाहर निकलता है निफ्टी या कोई भी अंडरलाइंग स्टॉक, सो यू विल मेक मनी. यू डोंट नो कि कल मतलब 30 दिसंबर की एक्सपायरी पे और सम अदर एक्सपायरी यू आर थिंकिंग कि नहीं यार बहुत बड़ा मूव आ सकता है एंड निफ्टी विल गो इन दैट पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन, बट यू आर स्कैर्ड कि मे बी दूसरा साइड का मूव आ जाए. सो लॉन्ग स्ट्रैडल तभी बनता है, बट डायरेक्शन न्यूट्रल लिखा है मैंने, बट इट इज लाइक इफ यू आर श्योर, इफ यू थिंक कि कोई सा एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में मूव होगा और होता ही जाएगा, so then you take a long strangle. So you are defining a range basically कि इस रेंज से बाहर निकल जाएगा तो मैं प्रॉफिट बनाऊंगा. So right now I took like 17,050 put. So that is an OTM put, and then 17,450 call. So that's an OTM call. So you are buying two like one OTM put and one OTM call for a long strangle. So if you can see the graph, your risk is capped because you won't be losing that much premium. Your premium is what, 23 rupee and 13 rupees. So that's like 1,800. And then your reward is uncapped. So if Nifty starts moving beyond your particular range, then you will start making money. If you are so much sure कि नहीं मेरा जो है Nifty will start going in one direction only, but I don't know which direction, you can take a long strangle. Let's go to next slide. This is a short strangle. Now your view is neutral, but you think कि Nifty will stay in this range only. So I like this strategy basically. What I think is कि बेसिकली निफ्टी जो है रेंज में, या फिर कोई भी एक स्टॉक पकड़ लो, वो एक रेंज में ट्रैवल करता है फॉर अ वीक. सो यू कैन टेक अ शॉर्ट स्ट्रैंगल, यू कैन क्रिएट अ रेंज ऑन योर ओन. जैसे कि मैंने सोचा कि निफ्टी जो है 17,050 के नीचे नहीं जाएगा, एंड एट द सेम टाइम आई एम थिंकिंग कि निफ्टी 17,400 के ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. सो व्हाट आई विल डू इज आई विल सेल puts and calls, OTM puts and calls of both the strike, and I will make a range where I can make a profit. But this is also a type of naked thing. So your risk is uncapped. Okay, so you can see there is a very thin line of green where you can make profit, and the red line is going beyond where you can make unlimited losses. Okay, next slide. What the fuck? Bull call
calls.
spread. Yeah. So bull call spread. So here the direction changes to bullish. Okay. So you're buying a call. Okay. But you're thinking कि I don't want to risk my capital too much. So what you can do is you can take a bull call spread. So here what you're doing is you are buying a ATM call and you are selling a OTM call. Okay. And your view is bullish. So you can see in graph your risk is capped and your reward is also capped. You will only earn the difference between the premium that will be left at the end of the expiry. Okay, if your view is bullish, you can like, वो तो दिख नहीं रहा कि कौन से प्राइस पे रहेगा, but it will be like 17,300 के ऊपर गया, then you will start making money. But then at one certain point 17,350 or 400 पे your your reward will be fixed कि भाई इससे ज्यादा मेरे को reward नहीं मिलेगा, because that particular 17,450 का call भी appreciate हो रहा है. So no matter how much your 17,250 calls get depreciated, your 17,450 call will get appreciated. Then again, your risk is also capped because you can't lose more than what the break even is. Okay, let's move to bear
Yeah,
put
this is
spread.
also a good strategy to understand how gamma works in OTMs. So you see that blue line from 17,000 to 17,500 के बाद का इनिशियली उसका स्लोप देखना और उसके बाद उसका स्लोप देखना. बेसिकली क्या है, इनिशियली 17,250 was the higher delta option and 17,450 was the lower delta option. So
Lower delta,
although
yeah.
market was going up, your 17,250 was making more money than 17,450. So that's the reason your blue line is going up sharply. But at some point, your 17,450 catches up with 17,250 in terms of delta, that your
Yeah.
PNL goes stagnant. So that's basically how how OTMs gain in delta very fast. And that's the reason why you should mostly try to trade OTMs when you have directional view. They might
Yep.
look not attractive at the start of the trade, but then if market moves a lot, their gamma catches up very fast that they'll suddenly start challenging the ITMs. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Spread.
Let's move to next slide. So the bear put spread, it's basically opposite of bull call spread. ठीक है? Your view is bearish. You are buying a ITM put and you are selling a OTM put. ठीक है? Then again, your risk is capped. Your reward is also capped. Your graph just looks inversely to the bull call spread. So I don't think there's much to explain here. Yeah, let's come to the hedge strategy, which is called long iron butterfly. ठीक है? Long iron butterfly, it is same as long straddle. ठीक है? But you have hedges here. So what you're doing is long strangle के जैसा है, but you create a long strangle and then you buy hedges in that just to
So
save your.
straddle and short strangle.
Sorry, yeah, short strangle. Sorry. So yeah, you are taking a short strangle and you're buying hedges so that your risk is capped in this. ठीक है? So what I did was कि मैंने एक range define करी. Sorry. Yeah, मैंने एक ATM का call or put buy किया and then I'm selling OTM call and put just to define my uh, risk.
Yeah. It's not necessary that you buy same call and put of same strike. यहाँ पे long straddle किया है, but you can also try it with long strangle. That is also good if you're not. So उस केस में कुछ नहीं होगा, तुम्हारा नेट प्रीमियम आउटफ्लो कम हो जाएगा, बट देन योर प्रॉफिट रेंज इज अ बिट वाइड, मतलब थोड़ा और ज्यादा मूव होगा तो ही तुम्हारा प्रॉफिट होगा. But if it doesn't move, you'll lose less money. So it depends how much you want to risk. Okay, next. Short iron.
Next, short iron butterfly. So what you're doing is you are defining a range ki the range is very narrow. So you will sell ATM, what is called straddle,
Straddle, yeah.
and then you are hedging it with buying far OTM options. ठीक है? So the graph will look like this. Your risk is capped, your reward is capped, but the break evens are very less. So your view is neutral and you want the underlying stock to stay in the particular range. ठीक है? Next is long iron condor. Long iron condor is basically strangles, hedge strangles. ठीक है? What you are doing is uh, you are buying this, what you call OTM puts, OTM options, and you are selling much far OTM options in this. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, na? So
Yeah.
you're buying closer OTM options and you're selling much far OTM options just to make your risk and reward मतलब defined. You want your risk and reward to be defined, and you're thinking key either the underlying stock will break that particular range. So you want your both side to be covered. So that's what you are doing in this particular strategy. Next, next, next is short iron condor. Okay, so basically most of the trader used this particular strategy. What you're doing here is you are defining a range in which the underlying stock will move. Okay, so what you're doing is key you're buying, selling OTM options and buying far OTM options just to hedge your risk. So what I did here is I sold 17050 puts and 17450 calls just to define my range कि मेरा व्यू है कि निफ्टी इसी रेंज में रहेगा. But if something happens, if one sided move started happening, then I'm buying hedges just to secure my risk कि भाई मेरा रिस्क में मेरा लॉस इससे ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. That's why I'm doing this. So I'm buying far OTM options just to cover the risk. So this is this strategy has been used by most of the traders, most of the option sellers, because they try to trade in range. Now, next thing is calendar calls. Calendar calls are basically you are doing it like you are making a strategy with two different expiries. Can you explain calendar calls? Bhai?
Calendar calls, I mean, it's just that a lot of people want to eliminate the risk of some Greeks while trading. So I told you, right, when market goes up, your call appreciates because there
Mhm.
is delta associated with it. But there is also some amount of theta. There's also some amount of vega for every option. So if you want to actually limit your uh, थीटा एंड वेगा, मतलब बेसिकली इम्प्लाइड वॉलेटिलिटी से तुम्हें पंगा नहीं लेना है और थीटा तुम्हें ज़्यादा नहीं देना है, whatever for whatever reason, and you just want to trade the direction, that's when you take this calendars. But the downside is कि एक मूवमेंट के बाद वो नेगेटिव चला जाता है, so you have to be very very sure about how much it will move. If you take it in a direction and if it moves a lot, then it will come back and bite you, so you have to be wary of that. But the good part is, at least in that range, the option you'll be, I mean, hedging with, that will limit your exposure to other Greeks, as in तुम्हारा theta exposure, तुम्हारा vega exposure सब कम हो जाएगा, and whatever you want to trade in terms of direction, that will be fairly, I mean that's what you'll be trading basically. You're basically eliminating your exposure to some of the Greeks. That's it.
Yeah. So basically, in this, what you are doing is you are selling the spot. Like if your view is bullish, so you're selling the spot call and you're buying the spot price calls for next expiry. So the next expiry can be next week's or months or whatever you want. But at after a certain point move, as you can see in the graph, uh, you will be facing losses.
Yes.
But
So as you can see, he sold 17 to 50 ka call and he bought 17 to 50 ka call of further expiry.
further expiry, yeah.
As market keeps moving, what happens is the closer expiry का जो call है ना, उसका delta keeps increasing very very fast. That is because gamma is very high in low expiry options, low time to expiry options. मतलब तुम्हारा ऑप्शन एक्सपायर होने में जितना कम टाइम है उतना ज़्यादा गामा रहता है. So that particular option moves much wilder than your further expiry option. So that's the reason your sold call is making loss faster than your bought call.
Bot
So
call.
that's the reason
Yeah.
after some point you go into that red zone. So that's the impact of gamma you're seeing there, that red zone. So if you reverse this, I think ठीक है. If you
Yeah.
reverse this,
But like I have mentioned this thing कि वो जो particular move आ रहा है, just because you have this is moving and you're facing losses, you can go to the next slide and show the diagonal call.
yeah.
So what in diagonal call, what you're doing is you are eliminating that risk. Ki your view is bullish, but in if you are taking a calendar call, you can face losses if there is a huge move happening. But in diagonal call, you can see the graph is changed. Like after that peak, profit is going down, but it is stable after a particular point. कि वो उस तक उसके बाद वो profit capped हो गया वहाँ पे. So in this, what you're doing is you are buying a deep ITM call and you are selling a OTM call. Sorry, you are buying a deep ITM call of next expiry and you are selling a OTM call of this expiry. This is a diagonal call just to eliminate that risk of that further move losses. Can you explain this too?
Yeah. So इसमें भी वही होता है. See,
Yeah.
after the profit is capped, नीचे क्यों आता है? That is because of the gamma effect. Your close expiry has much higher gamma than the further expiry. So its
Yeah.
delta will keep increasing very fast. So at some point, it will start eating into the profits of the further expiry. But it can never ever replicate. I mean, it can never ever beat that 100 point का gap तो जो तू डाल रहा है ना 100 17 150 17 350.
Yeah.
That 200 points gap will always be there as your profit. That is where it stagnates. जो तू देख रहा है ना green line एकदम
Yes.
stagnate हो जाता है at some point. That
Yes.
200 point you're planting into the strategy at the start
Because
itself. वो हमेशा
after a
रहेगा.
particular point move, that thing become a synthetic future.
Yeah. तो वो
Yeah.
हमेशा रहेगा. So that's the thing. Like initially, if you don't put it, it'll keep stagnant. तू ये red line को देख, उसके बाद वो red line भी stagnant हो जाता है.
Stagnant हो
But
गई, yeah.
it becomes
Exactly.
it's in a loss. इसमें क्या है कि वो 200 point का तू profit लेता है.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you people here takes calendar calls, so if they want, they can opt this option to diagonal calls. They
So you
can
can
create.
obviously argue कि why would you ever take a calendar call if diagonal call is better than that? It's not better, guys. इसमें net premium outflow 8,500 जाता है, उसमें 3,000 ही जाता है. So
Yes.
if someone says कि you can pay 3,000 to play this bet, it's better than paying 8,500. You're paying a lot of money to eliminate this risk. So it's not like कि free में तुम्हें ये free का protection मिल रहा है.
Yeah.
Everything comes at cost.
Also, that risk is there, na. You are paying 3,000, so your risk is only 3,000 rupees. But here you're paying 8,500, so the risk is been doubled or almost 2.5 times.
Yeah.
So
So
that's why
one way or the
people.
other, I mean, you'll have to take the hit. So
Okay, let's move the last strategy, covered calls. So there's a guy here called Sax. That's why I showed a ITC covered call thing. So Sax, uh, Sax owns how many lots are there? 3,200 का है ना size ITC का. Yep.
I don't know.
So
Price
Sax owns
2.25 and
16,000 quantity. Sorry. What?
200, correct. 3,200.
3,200. So there is a guy called Sax. He has too much money and he has bought ITC at 190 rupee average and he has 16,000 quantity of ITC. ठीक है. ITC stock. So covered call is basically what you're doing is I wrote key direction is bullish, but it is basically you want the stock to stay in the particular range. ठीक है. So as you can see, ITC का जो example है, ITC is not moving from like it is.
I think you forgot to add the feature here. ये chart
Sorry.
गलत है.
नहीं
You
नहीं
need to add the feature.
you need an underlying stock. I don't have that underlying stock, so how
You
can
can
I
add the
add that?
feature of ITC. Future is similar to stock.
Oh yes. I will edit that thing. Sorry. Yeah, I can add the future. Sorry, shit. So yeah. So basically क्या है covered calls में what you are doing is you have a position in that particular stock. Let's suppose you have a 16,000 quantity of ITC at 190 rupees.
Oh, fuck
ठीक
is
है.
guy.
Now what is happening is ITC is moving from 200 rupees to 240 rupees and it is like constant from like 3 years 4 years. So what you want is कि भाई मैं थोड़ा तो पैसा बनाऊं इस इधर इसमें से. So what you will do is you will sell a like further strike away, like जैसे मैंने इधर पे 235 का स्ट्राइक बेचा हुआ है यार. हाँ 235 का मैंने स्ट्राइक बेच दिया. ठीक है, कॉल ऑप्शन. सो माय व्यू इज कि 235 के नीचे एक्सपायरी हो जाएगी इस महीना एंड विच मोस्टली हैपेंस. So my view is neutral. So I will have to change this whole fucking slide कि direction neutral करना पड़ेगा and future add करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है.
Yeah,
Okay, I
this is
will
how
do
it
that.
looks.
Are you showing this?
Yeah. I made it in Abstract. So this is how it
Yeah.
looks. So I used 230 ka strike, which is trading at same premium. So you'll collect same amount of premium net credit. So as far as that
Yeah.
strike, the ITC is below that strike, you'll be सही है ना?
सही है.
हाँ. Yeah. It's a-
No. अच्छा हाँ ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है because after a point your future will start हाँ ठीक है okay
Yeah, your
so
future skills will.
what you are basically doing in this is trying to eat the premium of that far away calls just for making some rent money. They call it rent money because I am holding that particular underlying stocks. So I want to make some rent money because it is not moving at all. So covered calls are basically this. So if you hold a particular stock and you sell the far out calls and hoping your hope key you eat the premium. But if something happens, like if something happens and ITC start moving upwards, so what you can do is you can buy, like you can take the delivery of that particular share. So in that, what will happen is your underlying stock is getting appreciated. So you are making profit in that. So either you will eat the premium and take the rent money home, or you can take the delivery and your average is already on the lower side. So your stock is getting appreciated. So you are
Yeah,
making money in
but
that
it
too.
stops appreciating after this point. So that's the downside of this strategy. That's the only downside of this strategy.
Yeah.
It gets so if you don't do this, like if you don't have this and you only have the stock, this is your payoff. कि मार्केट नीचे जाएगा तो लॉस होगा, ऊपर जाएगा तो प्रॉफिट होगा, जितना ऊपर जाएगा उतना प्रॉफिट होगा. And
Yeah.
if you add this to it, तो it gives you that extra money every month, but ऊपर जाएगा तो तुम्हारा प्रॉफिट नहीं होगा, एक पॉइंट के बाद नहीं होगा. So that's the only
Yes,
downside.
एक
So
point के बाद your profit will be capped because
that's,
you sold that particular strike options. Yeah. So if you have some underlying stocks and if it is not moving like ITC, people take covered calls on Reliance and HDFC too ना. So LNT हो गया, any stock like if you want. So you can apply the strategy and make sure you have the money to take the delivery too if something happens. But yeah, people can do that. And this is basically called the rent money. Covered calls का जो भी premium मिलता है, you call it rent money. Okay, I'm holding this particular stock, so I'm taking rent out of it. So yeah, ठीक है. Let's
next.
yeah. So now I will share this particular PPT or whatever it is. So what you can see is there are different type of strategies and the execution is there. The benefits is written, the disadvantage is written, and how the graph will look like. ठीक है. So you can go through this. मैंने उसको ऐड इसलिए नहीं किया क्योंकि बहुत ही ज्यादा strategies थी और एक एक को समझाने बैठे रहो तो पागल हो जाऊंगा मैं. ठीक है. So you can like I will share this particular thing and you can go through every single strategy. Anything else? No. So if someone wants to ask, they can now by typing on VC. Do you want VC or YOLO? VC
आज
में
की
टाइप करोगे किसी को पूछना है तो.
can I ask you?
Yeah.
Let's say you take a position based on maybe weekly or monthly expiry, but
Hmm.
it turns out that you're not, matlab, it was a wrong call and you are at the bottom. So, उस point पे, how do you manage your position, personally or maybe in generally? Do you, मतलब, how do you just वो firework मतलब end में कैसे वो सारा clean up कैसे करते हैं mess जब अगर एक बार once you take the wrong trade?
So you are going in naked right now, and then your view doesn't work, and it went opposite to your
Not even
direction.
if it is covered by something, but you have you have a fixed amount of loss, you have a fixed amount of profits. So, but matlab you see that the markets are trending and are trending in the opposite direction which let's say you have a bull call, so but the market start going down and if I is selling it start going down. So how do you manage at that point? Matlab because
how do I manage, or how should one manage? How should one manage? The I can answer, but how do I manage is
mm,
I look at the delta. If the combined delta goes above 40, so what I will do is if I have sold like one particular strike of call and one particular strike of put, okay.
mm,
So if the market starts moving downwards, so my calls will print, but my puts will expand. Okay. So if the combined delta moves to 40, I will just book my that particular strike call and take the like deeper side call. Like I will sell another call of deeper in the more close to the spot.
okay. मतलब
And
you just cut
I
the
want, yeah, I want that to be a delta neutral. Like it should create a delta neutral strat.
okay.
You
मतलब
understand?
you just cut the leg that is bleeding and you make another leg on the
No, no,
other
no,
side.
no. I have not done that. I have booked my profit and moved to a closer strike. My put is still running, and I
Okay,
made another delta neutral strategy further.
okay, done. So मतलब you don't मतलब तुम hedge के साथ कुछ नहीं करना. Let the hedge.
या हेज चल रहा है, हेज चलने दो, हेज चलने दो. ठीक है, बिकॉज योर पुट्स, ठीक है, तुमने पुट सेल किया है एंड यू हैव बॉट अ पुट, सो दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग इज कैप्ड कि भाई मेरा इससे ज्यादा लॉस नहीं होगा.
नहीं
But to
होगा हाँ.
maximize the profit, what you can do is you can cut off the particular strike call and move to a further closer strike call. So if down moves continue to happen, you can make more money than that. Because suppose you sold a call of 50 rupees and
Hmm.
put of 50 rupees to make it a delta neutral strategy, you took 100 point away hedges. Okay,
Hmm.
so what you're making is suppose 50 rupees put went to 75 rupee, but call 75 or 80 rupees, or call went to 40, 35 or 30 rupees maximum.
Hmm.
So your difference has been increased. So what you will do is you can move the call further inside so that you can get more premium here. Are you getting it?
Okay. You मतलब आज समझ गया मैं. मतलब
Hmm.
you just move the spread to some other
Yep.
place
Yep.
so that
Exactly.
it in the money. हाँ. Okay.
Yeah. So my even see I booked some profit here. I moved my strike to further away, and my put legs are capped. कि इससे ज़्यादा profit नहीं होगा. Then I'm
Hmm.
making profit here. Okay. So my loss is capped, and I'm booking more profit. Like if I made 100 point iron condor,
Hmm.
और उस इसमें इसको करने से क्या होगा, मेरा 100 point will increase.
हाँ
So
मतलब your
this
premium
will,
will
yeah,
increase automatically
yes,
because
yeah,
if you
my premium will increase.
got it.
But then if you get whipsawed, you start losing quicker, na? Like this has happened to me. I moved up my winning side and then market वापस पलट गया and then that side is losing money even faster then.
Yeah, there is a risk in that. But if you want to keep a delta neutral strategy, you need to do that. Uh, Basically, these type of things one should do if they are very much active and they can take like quicker decisions during the trade, like during whatever the market is moving, they can do that. So if you can do
Okay.
that, you should. What is the minimum capital required for a covered call? अरे भाई, covered call में you need to have possession of the underlying stock ना.
Hmm.
जैसे
I
मैंने
mean,
बोला कि
you can do what I did right now. You can build it only with the future and a call.
हाँ, yes.
ऐसा लगता है, but it's
So
still an
minimum capital is, you cannot say minimum capital. See, you are asking for ITC. तो कर CMP क्या चल रहा है ITC का 230 यहाँ पे टिक
Hmm.
कर 219. So suppose you
90.
bought ITC at 219. तो तेरे को तू कितना बाय किया, फिर वो कॉल बेचने के लिए कितना लगेगा. सो यू कैन मेक अ स्ट्रेटजी एंड deploy it to see how much capital is required for a covered call.
So
Thanks
like
actually. अरे
you can do this for 1,77,000, but it is future versus
अच्छा
this thing. But spot kitna hai? Will I dox myself if I open my kite now?